What's going on, everybody? It's Acorn Man back with another LEGO Star Wars video, and today we're going to be ranking the LEGO Star Wars factions. Two things I want to say up front. One, obviously, this is completely my personal opinion. There's obviously no way to objectively rank these sets, and second thing, not all factions are going to be listed in this video. For example, some things that you could consider factions that aren't actually going to be on this list are like the Ewoks, the Gungans, the Geonosians. You could definitely consider them factions if you really wanted to, but they just don't really have enough sets to compete, so including them wouldn't really be fair. So really, when it comes down to it, the only factions we're going to be ranking in this video are the main 6 that we see across the Skywalker saga. In the future, I could do a second video ranking the smaller factions, but for now we're just sticking with these. Alright, so moving on to the list, at number 6 we have the Resistance / the New Republic, and admittedly this one is at a disadvantage as being part of the sequel trilogy. It hasn't had enough time for as many sets to be released, but that also being said, the quality of the sets that have been released, they're just not good. Like I said, in my personal opinion anyway, there just really isn't much of an appeal to buying these sets from a collecting or army building standpoint. Simply put, they're just not very cool to me. And they are also certainly lacking in variety compared to the factions further up on the list. At number 5, we have the First Order. As you can probably tell, I'm not really a big sequel fan, if I'm being honest. But this is definitely an improvement. We have a lot more variety in the minifigures, we have a lot more variety in the vehicles. There's definitely some potential to army build with these sets, but really where this faction falls short for me is from a collecting standpoint. I just don't think very many, if any, of these ships, vehicles, and minifigures are ones that I personally really seek to add to my collection. I also don't see a lot of them really becoming very valuable in the future either. I could see a lot of people having this one further up on the list, but for me, I think this is where it belongs. At number 4, we have the Rebel Alliance. A lot here from a collecting standpoint for sure. We've got the X-Wings, the Y-Wings, A-Wings, B-Wings. So many sets that are just fantastic for any LEGO Star Wars collection. You've also got a wide range of turrets and speeders. Just a lot of good stuff. I do think the Rebel Alliance sets fall short on an army building standpoint. I just don't really see very many people like mass collecting a bunch of Rebel sets to make a Rebel Alliance army. I know I certainly don't, but this is the first faction on the list to contain a lot of really great characters like Luke and Leia, obviously a very big part of the saga, as well as so many named pilots that a lot of people really love. I know a lot of people might not be very happy to see the Rebel Alliance outside of my top 3, but despite that, it's still a faction that I really like. At number 3, we have the Trade Federation Droid Army. I do think some of the Rebel Alliance sets have more collectible value, but in my opinion, the Trade Federation more than makes up for that in its army building potential. There are so many fantastic LEGO droid armies out there, and I mean, it's no surprise when you have so many awesome sets to do it with. You got the MTT, the AATs, Spider Droids, Dwarf Spider Droids, Hailfire Droids. Not to mention you've got dozens of different battle droid types. Battle Droids, Super Battle Droids, Commander Battle Droids, Commando Droids, Tactical Droids, Droidicas, Pilots, Gunners, and like so many more that I'm sure I'm leaving out. I know there's probably going to be several people mad at me for having this above the Rebel Alliance, but I just think that's where it belongs. Next up on the list at number 2, this is where it really got tough for me. We have the Galactic Empire, and this faction's sets, they just check all the boxes. We've got collectability, nostalgia, army building potential, so much variety. Not just in troopers, but also in vehicles. So many ships, so many walkers, all on so many different scales. And since it's from the original trilogy, there's always something from this faction available, because I mean, we know which trilogy is LEGO's favorite. Not that I can really blame them, I'm just saying. This one also really shines in its characters. We have Darth Vader, Emperor Palpatine, several named admirals and commanders. So yeah, this faction is basically just perfect. But it's still at number 2. Alright guys, so number 1 on the list, the very best LEGO Star Wars faction. You guys already know what it is. It's the Grand Army of the Republic. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't just a little bit biased on this one. This one is definitely at a severe advantage though, having both the clone and Jedi forces, and thereby also having the most named characters. Literally so many, can't even begin to name them all. This faction has it all, so many ground, air, and space forces. There are so many reasons why there are so many LEGO Republic armies on YouTube. If you're a casual LEGO Star Wars collector, you probably have at least a small Republic army without even intending to make one. You have so many awesome varying clone minifigures. Having so many clone legions with different color schemes really makes this army colorful and vibrant, and I think that's a big reason why there are so many battle packs released for the Republic army. Alright guys, so that's my list of the LEGO Star Wars factions ranked. Be sure to leave your list down below. I definitely want to see what you guys think, and I think that's just about going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.